we're going to be breaking down the brand new President music video by Destroy Lonely and Carson. Make sure you guys stay to the very end because I'm giving away a free preset with this video. So starting off inside of Premiere Pro here, you guys can see we have the video pulled up, and some of my favorite effects from the video are actually these here. So I'm going to be showing you guys how you can do this super easily inside of After Effects. So if you're inside of Premiere Pro and you're editing your footage, what you would do for this is you'd go over to the clip that you want to bring in. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and do this one here of Lonely. All you have to do is right click, go over to replace with After Effects composition, and then it will open it up right inside of After Effects here. Now there's a few ways that you guys can get this look. Let me show you guys the ways you could do it. I'm going to have a free preset link below that you guys can drag and drop on your footage to get this look right here. But if we go back and we chop this up into a bunch of different clips here, just randomly, you guys can see what I'm doing. What you can actually do using my OPIUM Looks pack that'll be linked below is you can drag and drop all these different particle distorts on it. So we'll have distort 1, then we'll leave a little space of normal in between. Then for this one here, let's do explode to normal. This one, we can mess with like some scan lines or something. You guys can see we get a really cool look there. And then let's just go back to the OG one, then movement, then the OG one, and then explode. And you guys could see we get a cool look just like this. And then with that look here, what you guys can do as well is if we highlight all of these inside of the layer, and then we right click and go over to pre-compose, we're gonna uncheck open a new composition. And if you just check these three, it's just gonna pre-compose it. So we're gonna duplicate that twice, and then we're gonna resize it and move it to the side here, and resize and move this one to the side. If you don't see the blending modes here, hit toggle switches and modes. And then right here, we're going to have the blending modes. I'm going to go and add screen. So we get this right here, just like the video. But if we toggle switches and modes here, if you don't have the 3D layer option, I recommend turning all of these into 3D layers and then turning motion blur on for them. And then if we hit new and then create a camera here, then with our camera, we can keyframe the position, have it zoomed in, and then we can go to the very end and zoom it way out. If we zoom it out, that looks great there, guys. You guys can achieve all of that super easily using these drag and drop presets that are inside of the OPIUM Looks pack. Just to show you guys some of the other presets that are inside of this pack, I'm going to drag and drop this invert black and white grid on here. You guys can see how sick this looks immediately, just going from that to this. You also get some other ones like this particle distort movement that we used earlier. This looks absolutely insane on a clip like this, especially if you put something like camcorder on top of it as well. Now, camcorder just by itself gets you this really digital looking effect, and there's a second one as well. There's honestly just so many presets in here that you guys can mess around with. We got the time codes. So if you guys do want to go ahead and check out OPIUM Looks, it'll be linked below. It's on sale right now. Super quick, before we get any more into this video, I have to let you guys know about my editing packs and presets. Over on my website, there are a ton of editing packs created by me for creators just like you. We have so many different effects and transitions over there that you guys can use on your projects to level them up instantly. We have everything ranging from fast and wood effects that allows you to add drag and drop shakes, hits, and wipes to your videos super easily. A LUT pack that contains over 285 different LUTs, drag and drop 3D effects that work on every single editing program that require no render time whatsoever, and so many other different unique looks, editing packs, and styles that you guys can use to level up your visuals. If you guys are stuck in an edit or you're just looking to take your videos to that next step for 2024, I highly recommend going over and checking out the site because there's something there for you. But anyways, let's hop right back into this. But moving on to different effects in the video now, we're going to be covering the title here, which is super sick. I figured out the exact font, and like I said earlier, I'm giving you guys a free preset, and this free preset includes this free font as well. So if you guys want to go in the description below and check out that free download, it'll have one of those effects that I showed you guys earlier, and it will have this font as well for you guys to create with. So if we create a new composition inside of Photoshop here, I'm just going to go ahead and make the background black. What we can do is just select the text tool here and draw out some text. I'm going to go ahead up here and change it to white. Now, if we look at the title, you guys could see here that we have Southside, Carson, Destroy Lonely. So we're just going to write that out with this font here, which is called Arial Narrow. So you can go ahead and just put this down here for now. When it comes to this font here, it's this one, and we're going to type President. Now there's a couple things that we have to do to it to get it looking like it was in the music video. I'm going to go ahead and bring these closer together, and we'll zoom in as well. So you guys could see there's the one from the video, and then there's this one. The font isn't the exact same, but I'm telling you guys, it's the closest I could figure out for you. What we're gonna do to get it look like it's from the video is we're gonna duplicate it, pressing Control J, and then we're gonna turn off the bottom layer just so we have a backup to go to. Then on this layer, we're gonna right click and we're gonna go and rasterize type, and then we're gonna go up to filter here, and inside of filter, we're gonna go over to distort, and we're gonna go over to ripple. So if we go over to ripple, let's say we do 100, you guys can see we can get those edges there. So we're just gonna keep on applying ripple here and playing with the size. So let's try large and then do something like 41. All right, that's already a start there, guys. Let's go back. All right, so I found a pretty decent one there, just keeping it at 5. We got this light looking ripple effect on it. Now, if we go ahead now and hit displace, we can hit OK. I'm gonna have a displacement map linked in the free download as well. Just double clicking on it, you guys could see we get a displacement map just like that. Now, if you don't want it to be that intense, you can go back into it and turn it down. And then going on top of this displacement map here, what we could do is hit filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just add a little bit, something like this. And I think that's a pretty accurate recreation of the title there, guys. If we go ahead and save this, pressing Option Command S, you can save it as a PNG here. And then bring it inside of a project and we can see, size it down. That looks great there, guys. Now, if we dive into an effect like this here, you guys can see we have these flickers and those glitches. What you can actually do inside of Premiere Pro here with these glitches and everything is, let's say we go to a clip like this. All it is inside of effects here, we can open up our OPIUM looks again. Just drag and drop our glitch on here, and you guys will see we're automatically going to have those glitches as easy as that. And that's also inside of the After Effects one as well. We drag and drop glitch on here, we're going to have those glitches just like that. Now, we're going to cover the color grade that they used on this video. You guys could see it's very simple. It's black and white with a ton of grain. I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite way to turn regular clips into black and white so they look super clean like this. You guys can see we have this clip of Little Dirk right here. It's fully colored. Now, to get a black and white look, what I like to do is go inside of Lumetri Color, turn the saturation all the way down, and then I'll turn the contrast up, turn the shadows up, turn the whites down, and it depends on your look. In the Destroy Lonely video, they have the highlights down, but if you want to have the whites up, you can do that as well. Now, once you have your look settled, what I highly recommend doing is checking out the grain that I have in my film look pack. You guys can get a bunch of grains online for free, but this one really is my favorite. You guys can add this to your videos just by going over to grain here and then just dragging and dropping it on top of your footage. Now you guys can see when we drag or drop it on top, it does not look the greatest. You have to go over to effect controls and set it over to overlay. And then I recommend going and turning the scale down so you get them a lot smaller. And I think that's a great grain that looks like the video right there. And then once again, if you do want to tweak your footage a little bit more, just go back into that Lumetri Color, and then you can play with the exposure to your liking, or the whites, or the shadows, or even the contrast. Totally up to you guys. That is just how I like to do my black and white looks. I know a lot of people out there use LUTs for black and white, but I really like to do it manually because you can control everything just like I did. Now, for this little transition sequence right here, I'm going to show you guys how you can do something like that super easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to different parts of the video and screenshot them and make sure we have import into project on. I'm just going to look for different sequences that look a little bit different. That looks good there. That looks good there. And that looks good there. We'll tap right back into this after, once we do this effect. Now, once we have our screenshots, we're gonna go into our project, highlight all of them, and drag them in. You guys can see they're only in there for a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and put this on top of the video just so we have a little bit of beat to go with. Sweet. Now, what we're going to do for this is we're going to right click, go over to new item, and we're going to create an adjustment layer here. And if we drag and drop this adjustment layer on, I'm only going to make these like 4 frames and put them in between our clips just like so. Now, if we go back into effects and go into our OPIUM looks pack, we have this flash transition here. So if we drag and drop that on, you guys can see we get a transition just like before. Now, if you guys want to do this yourself, you pretty much have to create a brightness and contrast and create these keyframes here and customize them. I just put them inside of this preset pack because you guys saw how easy it was just to drag and drop that on. I'm going to go ahead and turn this brightness up, and I'm going to copy it a few times and put them at the edges as well. So that's the look there, but to get it to look like it did before, I'm going to go ahead and throw the camcorder look on here as well. And it really gives you this mosaic look. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put something called mosaic on here. You guys can see it looks butchered at first, but trust me, we're going to go ahead and turn this one to 500 and this one to 500. Maybe let's try 350 and then 350. You can't really tell through YouTube maybe, but we get a lot more of like a digital camera effect, you guys can see. So I'm going to copy this mosaic on here and apply it to the rest of these. You guys can see we get a look like that. And if you want as well, we can make these even faster just by dragging them in. That looks super sick there, guys. Now going back to these like inverted effects here, all you really have to do for these is super simple. You guys saw what I did to that little Dirk footage here. All you have to do is click on it, go over to effects and type up invert and drag and drop that on. Now it's gonna look a little bit butchered, but we can fix that by going inside Lumetric color. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna turn the whites all the way up, turn the blacks up, and the shadows up, and then turn the contrast up, and then recommend turning the exposure up as well. We can get a look just like that, super simply. What you guys can also do as well is on a clip like this, all you have to do is go over to effects, open up OPIUM looks, and then there's a bunch of looks inside of here. So I put this one on here. We have a cool one with a glitch. We have this one with grain, or you guys can do the invert thing as well. Later on in the video, they have a really cool transition that looks like this. A super simple way you guys can do that is just creating a new adjustment layer, dragging it in, and then I'm going to be using my fast movement effects presets. So going over to wipe transitions inside of the bundle, I'm going to go and throw this fast wipe on. You guys can see we have something very similar there. Super hard there, guys. And I think that's everything I have to cover from this tutorial. If I missed something, let me know in the comments below and I'll explain it to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do want to download those free presets, they'll be linked in the description alongside the OPIUM Looks preset pack that is now out for After Effects. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.